Hello and welcome to the World of Sports podcast. I'm your host, Brendan. Unfortunately, for this video, not podcast, Lucas will not be able to be here as a co-host. He still knows that we're doing this video. There's nothing wrong with him if you're wondering. He just didn't feel like recording a video right now. So it's fine. I'm all for it. So let's just get into this. So basically, this is a recap of the mock draft that we did yesterday on our official podcast. If it was kind of a little bit sloppy yesterday. We weren't writing anything down, but I did get it. So I'm gonna try to explain my picks as best as I can. But if you get kind of confused on who I'm explaining, just look. There's Lucas and Brendan, so you can see which picks we're talking about. But let's start with Lucas, who is on the left side. For number one, to the Bengals, he had Joe Burrow, quarterback from LSU, one Heisman. Everybody knows about Joe Burrow. He's going to go number one. Unfortunately, the Bengals may piss his career down the drain. Nobody knows, but the Bengals don't have a great history of drafting quarterbacks. And I know that's a lot to say for me being a Browns fan, whatever. But it's true. I mean, their best quarterback that they've drafted in recent history is Carson Palmer. So, I mean, yeah. So let's go to the next one. We have Chase Young going number 2 for Lucas, to the Redskins. Now, the Redskins may trade their pick. It's very, very unlikely at this point, but it's still a possibility. So Chase Young, probably the best overall player in the draft. At number 3, he has Jeff Okudah going to his Lions. It would be a great pickup for the Lions. Jeff Okudah from LSU. Not LSU, OSU, Ohio State University represent. Cornerback, one of the best cornerbacks coming into the draft. He has number 4, Isiah Simmons, going to the Giants. Linebacker from Clemson, probably the best linebacker in the draft. Number 5, he has Tua going to the Miami Dolphins. Another opportunity for a team to just piss away a quarterback's career, but who cares? Tua, we won't know how he plays. He's been injured for the last probably the last half year. The last half of his senior year, or I guess not senior, junior year. But that's okay. I feel like he'll still be able to come back and thrive. At number 6, he has Justin Herbert going. He has Justin Herbert going to the Chargers. The Chargers have been needing a quarterback for a while. I mean, they have Tyrod Taylor, who is he can be a good quarterback when he wants to, but he just doesn't perform sometimes. Number 7, he has Derek Brown, probably the best defensive tackle in the whole draft from Auburn. And he has Derek Brown going to the Carolina Panthers, who can use some help on defense now that Luke Kuechly is retired. At number 8, he has Tristan Wirfs, offensive guard, going to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the thing with Arizona is they have Kyler Murray, so they really do need some help with the line. Kyler Murray's a great quarterback. He didn't really play as expected last season, but he needs some help on the line, so that's good if Arizona can get a good lineman. At number 9, he had Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle from South Carolina. It's not from the University of South Carolina. Let me look it up real quick. I forgot what it was, but I know it's a university in South Carolina. He's from the Gamecocks. So, yeah. So, he's going to Jacksonville, I guess. Javon Kinley. Whatever, defensive tackle. And then he has Mekhi Becton going to the Cleveland Browns, my Cleveland Browns. I would be happy if they got Becton, to be honest. Offensive tackle from Louisiana. But yeah. So let's get over to my mock draft. So I have Joe Burrow going first, quarterback LSU. Yeah, we all know he's going to go first to the Bengals, and they're going to piss away his career. I have Chase Young, OSU represent, defensive end, probably the best player in the draft, going to the Redskins again. There's a chance that they'll trade their pick. I have Tua going to the Lions, which is a controversial thing, but I can see them drafting a quarterback and making him sit for a year until they get rid of Stafford, which will happen inevitably. At number 4, I have Isiah Simmons, linebacker, going to the Giants. Now the thing with Isiah Simmons is that there is a chance, don't quote me on it, that he may be able to come to Cleveland. So if you haven't seen, there is a trade rumor going around, and it's not confirmed yet, but there's rumors circulating that Trent Williams was traded to the Browns for a third and for this year and a second for next year. So if that did happen, it'll be announced during the draft. So if the Browns do get a offensive tackle already without using their 10th pick, the rumor is that they will trade up and try to get the 4th pick to try to get Jonathan Simmons. Not Jonathan Simmons. That's an NBA player. Isiah Simmons, which I would love to see them do. Isiah Simmons probably the best linebacker in the draft. But yeah, anyway, let's go on. Number 5 going to Miami, I have Jeff Okudah. Now, in my original mock draft, I didn't have him in for some reason. I guess I forgot about him or something. Another OSU represent. I have him number 5 cornerback going to Miami. Now, for number 6, I have Justin Herbert, QB, from Oregon. I have him going to the LA Chargers. The LA Chargers really could use some help on quarterback, so I just wanted to send them a quarterback their way. They're basically guaranteed to draft a quarterback, and if they don't, I would be very, very surprised. The only way I can see them drafting a quarterback is if they're blown away, if somebody's still available. At number 7, we have the Carolina Panthers. I have the Carolina Panthers taking Kenneth Murray. He's a linebacker. Probably the second linebacker, best linebacker available. And I made him take a linebacker because Luke Kuechly, sadly retired. So they need some more help in the linebacker situation. So that's why I feel like they'll take a linebacker realistically. At number 8, I have Tristan Wirfs from Iowa, going to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, like I said earlier, could use help on their line because, they do struggle a lot with their line, just like my Cleveland Browns do. At number 9, Jacksonville, I have Derek Brown going to Jacksonville, defensive tackle out of Auburn. Probably the best defensive tackle in the draft. And if he does fall to 9, which is very unlikely, but if he does in the real draft, then Jacksonville will really have a steal. And at number 10, my favorite team of all time, love them, diehard fan, the Cleveland Browns. I have them taking Andrew Thomas. And this, I want to mention this. This is only if they do not take, take a trade for, Trent Williams. So if they do not trade for Trent Williams or any other left tackle, then they will be taking a left tackle in the draft. Now, hopefully that rumor that I read to you guys earlier is true because, I would love to see Trent Williams coming to the Browns, especially for a 3rd and 4th. That can be useful for the Redskins. And I would love to see what they would do with the 10th if they had a left tackle already. So, so for me, I had them taking Andrew Thomas if they don't trade for Trent Williams. The Browns are probably the most likely team to get Trent Williams out of everyone. I think the second favorite is the Jets. So, who really cares? I'm just joking if you're a Jets fan, but yeah. So we are done with this mock draft. You guys can look over it for a second, real quick. But yeah. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys subscribe, like, do all that stuff because we are really trying to grow this podcast out. We will have a podcast starting Friday. We'll start be doing a podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 times a week. So we're gonna try to stay consistent for it. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. We will be trying to reply to your comments. You guys will be able to know which is us, because here, if you look at my mock draft on the right side of the screen, when it's us, it'll look like this. So you'll see it like this, where it'll have a little dash and then our name. So you'll know which one's replying. So if it's Lucas, it'll say like the comment and then dash Lucas, or it'll say the comment dash Brendan. So you know which one is us. But yeah, so if you guys did enjoy this podcast, or this isn't even a podcast, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys subscribe, like I said. But yeah, this is Brendan signing off. And yeah, have a good draft night, you guys. See you tomorrow.